Hello, super friends. I'm Jason Inman, and welcome to Jason Talks Geek, the weekly show where I talk about geeky things. And this week, we are going to talk about Wolverine, specifically Wolverine in the comic books. If you have been around the internet the last couple of days, you have learned that Wolverine, James Howlett / Logan, is coming back from the dead. Now, this character was killed in Marvel comic books a couple of years ago in a pretty brilliant miniseries called The Death of Wolverine, aptly titled, I believe, by Charles Soule. It was actually a very nice tale told through Logan's past. Now, they spoiled in USA Today, Marvel did anyways, that in Marvel Legacy, the grand sort of, not really a retcon or really a reboot of any type, but sort of a redirection of Marvel Comics this week in Marvel Legacy #1, that Wolverine was coming back to life. So I read Marvel Legacy #1. I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on it and what I think Wolverine coming back from the dead means to the Marvel Universe. Now, the issue introduces this idea that way back in prehistoric times, Odin, the Phoenix, the original Iron Fist, Agamotto, related to Doctor Strange, the original Spirit of Vengeance, and I believe the original Starbrand all kind of fought a Celestial and they buried it somewhere in South Africa. Now, why that is important, why that is a big deal, why that Celestial is even anything, I don't know. They don't really tell you why, but the art in this section of the book is quite amazing. Then we get a pretty meaningless fight between Starbrand and Ghost Rider. Of course, they don't want to find the Celestial and all that stuff. Now, as this is going on, the issue is being narrated by somebody who we don't know. It, of course, has blue text, which signals towards something that Marvel has been doing recently, towards echoing towards some of my favorite superheroes of all time that have been out of the Marvel Universe for a very long time, and that is the Fantastic Four. We get also a sort of, I was going to say Raiders of the Lost Ark warehouse fight at a S.H.I.E.L.D. facility between the Sam Wilson Captain America, the Jane Foster Thor, the Riri Williams Ironheart versus a bunch of frost giants from Jotunheim that were sent there by Loki, meant to capture this one case. Of course, we then get a scene of Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm launching off a Fantastic Four flare over New York City. Now, this is actually, to be honest with you, one of my favorite things about this issue, simply because I'm so excited for the Marvel 2-in-1 title that is coming back, because Marvel 2-in-1 is the amazing team-up book from the 70s where the Thing, usually Benjamin J. Grimm, team up with somebody else, and it kind of seems like this is going to be the book that is going to bring the Fantastic Four back into continuity. But let's get to the big scene. Eventually, the Frost Giants run out of the facility and get hit by a truck, and they find out that that truck is being driven by James Howlett, the original Wolverine, who finds the case, and you find out that it's the blue Infinity Stone, because now the comic books are calling them Infinity Stones, just like the movies. They used to be Infinity Gems. So, what do we think about this? Why did they choose this issue to bring back Wolverine? Well, to be honest with you, I quite don't honestly know, because the book is called Marvel Legacy, and with some of the characters we see in the book, that is in terms of Ironheart and Jane Foster Thor and Sam Wilson Captain America, there are total legacies. Each of these heroes have taken over the legacy of other Marvel heroes. But in terms of Wolverine is a Silver Age character. He is an original character. He does not follow the legacy of any other character, nor does any other character besides X-23 really follow his legacy. And she follows it very, very loosely, besides only taking the name of Wolverine and his costume very recently, after his death, in fact. But I don't know what the statement the writers are trying to say with bringing back Wolverine. And so because of that, I feel that this issue kind of falls flat and sort of just becomes a preview of what's to come. Instead of being an issue that really, really matters, an issue that comes to mind in my head is the Countdown to Infinite Crisis, where all these characters were in this mystery that Ted Kord was trying to solve, and then eventually Ted Kord died, and it set off the whole event. Now, there is nothing in this issue that really does that, especially when you get to the end reveal, when you find out who the narrator is, and it's Valeria Richards and Franklin Richards of the Fantastic Four. Of course, they have not been seen since Marvel's giant event Secret Wars, because they've been out making multiverses all around the multiverse in different ways. Now, that was a nice little reveal. I understand the legacy of making this issue about Valeria because she, of course, is the legacy character of the very first Marvel superhero team. Now, Wolverine being back in the Marvel Universe does create some complications because there is already a character and a title in the Marvel Universe called Old Man Logan. It specifically features the Old Man character created by Mark Miller and Steve McNiven. Steve McNiven also helps draw us this issue, which is very great art. But yeah, again, the Logan returning from the dead does fall flat because I don't know what you're trying to say. Now, we have many issues going forward, but if I were to give my classic Jason Reads Comics ratings of buy it, borrow it, or skip it, I would say borrow this issue. It's not terrible. There are some great scenes with some great art, but ultimately, this book has little to no impact on the Marvel characters or even setting you up for some massive cosmic event that's going to happen. It literally is a, hey, here's what's going to happen over here, here's what's going to happen over here, here's what's going to happen here. We hope you like it. And Wolverine's back. That's kind of the feel of the issue. So, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. Let me know down in the comments what you thought about Marvel Legacy #1. Is it a buy it for you? And then also click subscribe because I have a video coming out every single weekday and I think you might like some of them. See you around, super friends.